So, Amy, I'm going to start off with a really tough question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is Gus really like?
Gus is very quiet, but he's very funny, and you always are knowing that his mind is going a mile a minute when people are talking. So I'm always thinking, what is Gus thinking?
Gus, I told you I would open, and did I not open with that? Okay.
So that's Gus.
All right, so Amy, tell me about the organization and what you do.
So EIC is a federation. We're a global federation of industry organizations that support the business events industry. So I have members from all over the world that represent various sectors of our business, some direct, some indirect. And the whole idea behind our federation is to unify for impact. So we come together and focus in on those really important pan-industry issues that we know we cannot solve independent of one another, really on behalf of event professionals.
So I was speaking with Karina about this. Coming to IMEX, I love the collaboration. And even though there might be some competition, but the fact is we're all willing to come together and kind of better the industry.
Sure.
So is that what you find?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's always been the case. If you think about the purpose of an organization like EIC, the undercurrent is collaboration. We focus on advocacy, research, professional standards, and professional recognition. And, so behind the scenes, there's constant collaboration. I think what we realize now, there's some issues like workforce, building capabilities, all the environmental and social concerns. And if we are truly, believing that we're an industry that can be a catalyst for change, we have no choice but to really unify and think about different ways for collaboration. And, we have this sort of like collective consciousness now that I think is somewhat different. So we're going out beyond our traditional spheres of influence to look for new collaborations and new partnerships. And really, again, not trying to be everything to everyone, but trying to find those alliances that really, again, help us deliver impact and help drive change. I think that's what we're saying now is, we have these visions of maybe what the ideal state is, but are we really holding ourselves accountable for change? And I'm really encouraged by what I'm seeing, and I think there's a real spirit and a commitment not maybe to do everything the way we always have done it in an effort to really take advantage of the learnings that we've had over the past few years.
Well, I think over the pandemic and having to go into whether it's online, virtual, and now coming together in person, I think there's a new energy and, a new vibrance to it.
Sure.
But I know that you deliver most of your programs online, so do you feel like that's always going to be the case, like in terms of delivering education and maybe how people are receiving that?
I think that we have done a lot digitally over the past 2 years, but we're sort of exploring, what's our next step in terms of in-person engagement and what's the right balance. I think, we have to be actively listening to what makes sense for our constituency. We don't want to duplicate the effort of our members. We serve a couple of key stakeholder groups. We run a certification for event professionals, the CMP credential, and that's sort of seen as the gold standard in the events profession and kind of foundational to professional development. And they love to get together in person, right? So we're planning for a re-emergence of this in-person program in April of 2023 and super excited about it. But, I think about technology as an enabler and, that digital component is maybe that thing that ties us while we can't, meet in person, in between the lines, if you will, and so it'll always be a part of what we do. And I think it's just making sure we're understanding how best to do the things we say we do in person through these digital experiences, right? There's still issues around, what type of an event really people are seeking that makes them feel that it's a valuable experience, that they're learning something, that they're connecting with others, whatever their goals and ambitions are.
Well, we were talking a little bit off camera, and I look at you as someone who's really evolved in this industry because you've been you're an expert. And so I'd love to find out, for you to share, like how you got started in this industry and what was that like? Because we are able to show up today, I feel like, dressing the way we want to dress, and
Dressing comfortably,
yes,
fashionably, but yeah, no, we have come far. I started in this industry in the late 80s, and it was a very different environment back then. And I think we're at a much different place now. Again, I mean, we could think about, everything that we've been through, perhaps. We talk a lot about this whole journey forward has been an evolution of building trust and confidence, not only in that which we do being important and valuable, but of one another, really offering empathy. We're really focused on DE&I at EIC and looking at, how do we truly turn that vision of an equitable society into an actual experience. So, I started in this industry and, as a young woman, feeling very intimidated going into networking environments and really having to get used to having that courage to get in there and get engaged with a lot of people that, had been in the industry for quite some time, very male-dominated. So, I look across our industry and think about the things that we're doing in an effort to kind of broaden the circle, really address unconscious bias, really do offer, equitable experiences and really, and be sort of in an active listening mode. I think sometimes what we don't want to do is make the assumption that just because we say we do something, it's really having that type of an impact. So I'm happy, I'm pleased. We make progress. I think we need to celebrate our successes along the way. There's still a lot of work that needs to get done though in that regard. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today and speaking with us. And
to have a conversation with you both, and it's really happy to be here back. Thankful to the IMEX team. Great job.
1, 2, check baby. 1, 2, 3, Amanda. Good?
Go, Ray, go.
Go, Ray, go.
Go, Ray, go.